Hello friends and family, my name is Daniel Burrell and welcome to Diary of a Manic. Today we're going to talk about depression. We're going to talk about some possible causes, we're going to talk about coping, possible treatment options for you, and telling your friends and family about it. So I've had a lot of people ask me how to tell if they have depression, and that's a very difficult question to answer. It's there are so many varying degrees of depression that it's practically impossible to pinpoint it unless you really know the person or you're a trained psychologist. But depression is defined as feelings of severe despondency and dejection, or in layman's terms, it's a mood disorder that causes persistent feelings of sadness and loss of interest. Even those definitions are they're very bland. They don't really give a lot of information. People have described depression to me as a feeling of impending doom. Very ominous sounding, I know. And I've had it described to me as just lethargy. They just don't have the energy to get out of bed in the morning. And as far as my depression has gone, I've had it fly all over the charts. I've had my really dark days where I don't know why I'm continuing on, and then I've had my days where I just don't want to get out of bed in the morning, and I've had my really good days without medication where I just wake up in the morning and I'm just fine the whole day through. So yeah, it's really difficult to pinpoint it. So what I'm trying to say is, don't ask me to pinpoint your depression for you. But yeah, if you really want to know if you have depression, you can talk to your family doctor about it. They can prescribe antidepressants for you or anti-anxiety medications for you. Or you can just talk to a psychologist or psychiatrist. And I would even say talk to your family about it. They can give you views that you haven't looked at yet, that they can just open your mind up to new ideas. And as far as antidepressants goes, a lot of people I've talked to have tried a single antidepressant and it makes them feel weird, which a lot do, and they're just done. That they just don't want to take anymore because they don't like that feeling. And you really have to be patient when it comes to antidepressants, because they're just so difficult to find the one that really works for you. I've probably been on 5 or 6, and I've been on a couple where I was taking them for a while, and then after 6 months or 8 months, I stopped taking it because I'm feeling good every day. And then when I start taking it again, it doesn't work for me at all. So you have to be really patient. And even as far as finding a psychologist goes, you really have to be patient about that too. There's a website that I'll put in the description that you can look at Edmonton psychologists, or psychologists around the world, I suppose, and you can look at their profile and you can see their specializations, and you can try and find a doctor that works for you. Because I went through probably 3, like talking to them, emailing, before I really chose one. So you need to be really patient with that as well. And as far as talking to your parents goes, I strongly urge you to talk to your parents if you think that you're having issues with depression. Because if you keep it hidden from them, the longer you keep it hidden, the harder it's going to be on you and for them. Because you're just going to try and hide it, and that's not good in itself. So when you do talk to your parents, put it very lightly, because in 90% of cases, parents are just going to assume that it's their fault. In fact, when I told my parents, my mom actually said, and I quote, "What did we do to ruin your life?" And that just makes me feel like kind of a dick, because they didn't do anything to cause this. Like, I felt bad for them because they felt that way. Like, they did, as far as I'm concerned, they were the best parents in the world. So there was no reason that they could have caused my depression. But still, they just assumed, because they're your parents. They're responsible for you, and they're responsible for your actions. But yeah, you have to tell them it wasn't your fault, and if you know the trigger, tell them the trigger. If you don't, then tell them, I'm going to talk to my doctor, I'm going to talk to a psychologist about it, and I'm going to try and find the trigger. I didn't tell my parents for, I think, probably 8 years when I had depression. I don't know how it would have been if I had told them earlier, but I think it would have made it a little easier on me. I would have been a lot more open to talk about it prior to this. Like, it was just very difficult for me to tell my parents, because we never really talked about that kind of stuff. So yeah, even if it's awkward for you to say that kind of stuff in front of your parents, you still have to tell them. It's very important to you and to them that they know. It's just not nice to them to not tell them that you're having issues with that. So yeah, leave any suggestions in the comment box below on Facebook or YouTube. And yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comments. I'm always open to questions, and I'm always open to suggestions. I will see you on probably Monday or Tuesday. Have an awesome day.